everyone, welcome back to Katarina's Garage. My name is Katarina Lloyd, and I am standing beside a really cool car, actually. So this is a 2021 Toyota Supra, and I don't really know much on these. I do know, though, that these are based on the BMW Z4 chassis and engine, as well as a few of the electronics as well. But they are quite a bit different from the Z4s that way. However, and I know like a lot of people try to make fun of that, but to be honest, I actually do really like these. They're really cool, and I love how they harken back to the Mark IV Supra. So anyways, let us take a look at this car first. I'll just give you a quick walk around of it and whatever else, and then we'll take it for a drive. So like the one thing is with these cars, they're just really cool. Like I love the lines that they have, and like it's very, if you look at these headlights, for example, it's very reminiscent of the Mark IV Supra, which is you know, the one Supra that everybody lusts after. It had the 2JZ and stuff like that. These no longer have that, but they still do have an inline six that makes a good amount of power. And you know, just looking around it, like I absolutely love the wheels that Toyota put on these and everything. And like this one with all the splitters, the splitter and whatnot is really cool. And actually, oh, this is the GR. So there you go. See, and that's Gazoo Racing actually. So that's similar to what they used to have back in the day for TRD, but TRD is now an off-road stuff, and GR is their new racing division. And if you want to follow them on Instagram, you can right there. And it's just very cool. And I love this little double bubble roof as well. It's like it's an interesting style line that you can see where it goes like that, and that harkens back to when these cars, well, it harkens back to racing a long time ago when you needed that extra little bit of the roofs to wear a helmet with these, right? Meanwhile, let's go take a look inside the car really quick here. And see now, and it's amazing like how deep the sill is here, which it just goes to show you its sports pedigree that way, because you know only sort of sports cars do that, and these are a pretty good little performer, to be honest, from what I've heard. And you know, just a very fun sort of car that way. Unfortunately, these all are automatics, but they do have a manual transmission coming for these fairly soon, actually. I think it's next model year or the model year after that. I'm trying to remember for certain. But if we take a look inside, you know, you'll see these nice leather seats that really look like they do hug you very well. If we take a look at like some of the instrumentation here, oh, it's a little tight getting in here. But you know what? It's very cool, very tight in here. Like that is kind of surprising actually. But you can see this automatic transmission, which you can manually shift by the looks of it, just by hitting it back or going forward. That's pretty cool. And yeah, this thing is so cool. You know what? Because yeah, this is definitely a lot different than what I'm used to. You know, with like electronic parking brakes, for example, and sport modes and whatnot. It's not usually my thing, but you know what? This has been in the making for over a year, or close to a year actually, since I did the Mustang one on here. So, anyways, yeah, this is very cool, and it'll be very fun to drive. So, let's take a look. Actually, under the hood here, and I'm not even sure how these exactly open. I think it's just, see if I can find it. I need to pause. There we go. Okay, that's interesting. So as soon as you pull the thing twice, there's no second latch to pull so that it comes open. But you take a look under here, and there's not too much to see here, but you know, it's a very clean sort of look that they did in the engine bay, which is nice. And yeah, just unfortunately, guys, like this cover covers up a lot of stuff. But you know, you can take a look, even like, it's interesting because you can see vehicle emission control, but then you see some of this German because this is a BMW, right? Or BMW underneath, BMW emissions, right? So you do see that in German there. So it's kind of interesting, right? It's very cool. And yeah, because like there's a lot of stuff that is like really neat on these, and I'm surprised how wide this hood is. But even like you can take a look, even that's where you fill up your wipers and stuff like that for the fluid. That's pretty cool. And you know, you got your external jack point over there, I can see that. And yeah, it's a very wide sort of car. Like, to be honest, it's a small car, but it's fairly wide. So that's something that I did not expect, because I've seen these drive by, but I've never actually went to go look at one properly or anything like that. You know, they've got these really sporty tires on them from the factory. And yeah, well, meanwhile, see how this thing is. And now we are free from there, because the area there is a little, I guess it's a stop sign. That's where we turn. Because one thing is, like, I don't know this area all that well. Yeah, so he's just gonna have to let me know where to go, so we're going right. So yeah, and this is a car that, like, my first impressions of driving this car is a little interesting, because like, I'm used to the old stuff, right? It's not, cars like this are super fun, and like, and this thing just wants to go. I have it in sport mode right now, so it is, you know, a little stiffer and whatnot, and, you know, wants to shift a little harder and stuff like that. But even like these seats are very, very firm, and, you know, like, for me, I prefer a softer seat, but, you know, it's totally fine. This is what the nature of this car is, right? It's very much a sporty car, and, you know, it really, the seats do hug you, like, and you can't be a super tall person driving a car like this, or driving this car, because I'm 5'9", and now I'm in about like a 2.5-inch heel at the moment, but yeah, if I was actually just this height, like, you couldn't be any taller than this, I don't think, in this car. Wow, there you go. And that was only like quarter throttle too, just doing that really quick, so that's fun. Okay. And yeah, we're gonna take it out and see if we can have a little bit of fun with it too, to give you guys a proper sort of, like, because one thing is, this is only my second ever review, so that's where it gets a little interesting of figuring out these. But yeah, no, it's all good. Really rough. Ugh. Jeez. Yeah, and, you know, getting back to the rough roads again, and like, and that's the one thing, like, even over this sort of stuff here, it's not like super rough over this, surprisingly. Like, you'd think it'd be a little stiffer than that, but really not bad at all. And yeah, and like, and this thing has a decent volume out the back. It's not super loud, but it's not like super quiet either. Which, oh, did we just do a circle?
Yeah, we should go that way, sorry.
Ah, okay.
See if you can try it.
Alright, there we go. We are now free a little bit. Just want to make sure that, yeah, I have to merge right over by the looks of it, so just make sure. Holy crap! Wow! When that traction control kicks in, it's just like right there. So yeah, you do have to be a little careful with a car like this. And also, when you have, you know, a lot, like, not that this has a ton of power, but it's a light car and it's not big, right? So it actually will get up and go very quickly with the, like, 300 and, what do these have, like 360 horse, something like that? 388, okay. Where is, yeah, right here? Oh, no, not, yeah, not here, sorry. Ah, yeah, just trying to find my way around here, because yeah. It's all good. Ah, and like, this thing, you know, does have built-in GPS and whatever else into its home sort of computer that way, so it's kind of nice. Yeah, so I do have to turn up here?
Yeah.
Okay. Ah, yeah, alright, here we go. Let's try and get this review properly started now, because that's the one thing. Just we got a little not very well situated, but now we're good. Just getting it on the yellow head here. And that's one thing about this car, is that it does kind of walk away from you. Like if you pin it around a corner, you better hold on a little bit because the thing will slide, and the traction control kicks in pretty quick actually. So that is one thing that I noticed back there. But yeah, don't go too fast. Yeah, it's definitely fun, and it's fairly comfortable. Like, not, you know, it's not the most comfortable thing ever, but it's pretty decent overall. And you know what? And it's just a fun car, very fun car, right? And like for me, like I prefer a more like sort of more comfort over sport, but that's totally fine. Like this is still a very fun car, and I would definitely love, like, this thing around a track would just be a ball to play with, to be honest, because you can just tell like these things are designed for that sort of thing. There we go. Yeah, and like and the thing is, what I just did there, that was only like 3/4 throttle, so yeah. Just a lot of fun. I'm having fun here. And then I can see the blind spot monitoring stuff, which is, again, it's just all this technology that they put into these newer cars is just fascinating. Like, because for me, I'm used to really the only electronics, maybe like power windows and power locks and, you know, like electronic ignition. That's really it. Because even like fuel injection for me is something that I'm not used to. So yeah, and the one thing is with fuel injection compared to carburation is it, as soon as you get on it, it's just gone. Like there really isn't much hesitation at all. And also, like, fuel injection is obviously much more efficient than a carburetor is, but you know, still a lot of fun. And yeah, and like the one thing is that the steering is reasonably heavy, like not too bad though. It feels a little lighter than actually the Mustang did, because like, and that's the one thing that I'll be comparing this a little bit to the 2020 California Special that I filmed on my channel, which, because the one thing is there's similar price brackets, because this is being the GR, like I know that the California Special is around 50-60 grand, and this thing's gonna be similar to that, so you know, it's just one of those deals. So, yeah. Wow, and just like that, you're at 120. Holy crap. Slow down a little. Okay, yeah, see, and it's nice and comfortable, and like it'd be fun to find like some corners for this thing and see how it really goes, but unfortunately there's not much of that around here. Because that I do know. But you know, it's really fine. And yeah, let's just have a little bit of fun here. Let's go over to the handling. And now, this will be the first time of just doing full throttle here. So I'm doing 104 at the moment. Wow. That thing just goes. And just like that, that was 150 in just an instant. Right? So that's just super fun. Super fun car, and like, and you can tell just by like of how heavy the steering is that this would be a very fun car to throw around corners and a track and whatnot, right? And yeah, like I don't really know much else to say, because really it's, yeah, I don't know, like hang on, yeah, you know, and okay. Yeah, like, and that's the one thing, like, because, I mean, and you'll see my natural reaction to stuff now, because you get to see it from, you know, the point of view, and then from seeing what I experienced with the car, right? And like, honestly, I am a fan of this car. It's very fun to drive. And, like, I don't know if I could, like, live with this thing daily, of just because, again, like, I have a bad back, so having the firm seats is not my thing, but you could definitely daily this thing though if you could get used to that. It's totally fine, right? Because a lot of you know, a lot of younger people have better backs than I do, so That's all good. And like in these things, I mean, and now with the production sort of shortage due to the chip shortage and whatnot for just about everything, you can't really find these at the moment. So like dealers are starting to actually buy these back from customers because they just don't have stock, right? But yeah, well, anyways, let us get back onto the highway here. And I'm thinking, like, and it's interesting because even like the signal stock, I'm used to it being like sort of a stick, but in this, it's just this kind of big, sort of blocky thing. But it's fine. Like it works good and everything, and it's comfortable. But it's just a little interesting compared to what I've always felt, right? But yeah, just, and again, it's just little things like that between modern cars and old cars that are different. There we go. Just give it a little bit to get up to speed. And the thing is, like, when you hammer, because like right now, here, let's just slow down a little bit. Like, because right now, I am at, that's 103 kilometers an hour, and then, if I just, like, it really pulls you back. Like, and that's fun. Oh. Well, there you go. You got to see a little bit of a malfunction of the mount falling off the windshield. So, and that's just one of those things that, you know, that other YouTubers won't show you that. But for me, I like to show that sort of side of the little mistakes and whatnot, because it's fun, right? And to show that, hey, I'm human, right? Because a lot of these YouTubers, they do a lot of editing and whatnot. Like, there'll be minimal editing in this video, and that's what I like to do. And, you know, and especially because you just get to see all of this, right? And like, and normally, like I was talking to Peter here earlier about it, was like, normally I'd have a little more to say on it, but it's just, I'm kind of tired today, to be honest. And, you know, like earlier I filmed that Australian Charger, which was really cool, but like even then I didn't have too much to say. I was trying to find stuff to say and stay as long as I could, just because it's such a unique car and there's so many really little odd quirks about it, but there's only so much you can do. And like on this, it's surprising, like in here, because there's quite a decent amount of buttons or whatever else, but it's a very minimalist interior in here too, considering what it is. Because, you know, comparing it to the Mustang, where like the Mustang is a lot wider in here and you actually have a lot more headroom, because like I have it just a little bit. Like, I could not actually be in this car and wear a helmet, put it that way. That's how tight it is for headroom in here. So do bear that in mind if you happen to be, because like I said, I'm 5'9". So if you're 6 foot or so, you're gonna have a tough time fitting in here, which it does kind of surprise me, because like older generations of Supras weren't that way. But I guess that goes to the roots of the BMW Z4 in this car, right? And that's the one thing, because like this 3-liter inline 6, you know, is straight from the Z4. And just like a lot of the computerization, everything in here is, but like they have different suspensions and whatnot, and a few other differences that way, but a lot of it is BMW. However, and the one thing is though, it's very quality though. That's the nice part about it. Because the one thing is, and I know, like, and the reason why people wonder, why did Toyota actually partner with BMW on this car? And the reason for that is because for them to actually put out this car on their own would have taken an additional 5 years, and I believe an additional like $50 million from what I read. So it makes perfect sense why they did it. And, you know, like, because at first I was like everybody, where it's just like, why did they do that? But then, you know, and not being mad or anything at Toyota, because like the one thing is, like, a car like this, will I buy one? No. I mean, like, it's not my car that way, you know. Very fun to, you know, drive though. Like, in the future, if these became like a really cheap car, which I doubt they ever will, like, these might just be, oh jeez, almost just got sideswiped there, so that's fun. And just make sure, yeah. Heart's going a little bit after that. Freaking little Dodge truck. I don't know, that may have been caught on camera, so once this guy goes, we can probably go. There we go, just like that. And, you know, like, yeah, and I didn't play around with it too much, and it's just, and that's the one thing though, because like where we are, unfortunately I wasn't really able to do that. Like, if this was here, like, if he drove this down to Sundry, oh, I could have had a lot more fun, because there's some fun driving roads whatnot around there, but that's okay. You know what, you guys got to see how quick it is that way, you know, because obviously I'm not going to max the car out, especially on that sort of highway. It's not the place for it. And also, if you're going to do stuff like that, please be mindful of your surroundings, whatever else like that. Make sure you're in a big open area. You know, like when I was doing that, I was making sure I was watching the traffic and everything, you know, just to make sure that nobody was really going to turn in front of me or anything like that, because that could have been really ugly really quick, you know, doing those types of speeds. But, you know, and this thing stops extremely well. You can feel it just driving around, like, because the one thing is, with me being used to old cars and the vacuum assisted brakes, getting in something like this, it takes me a minute to actually get used to everything like that. So do bear that in mind if you happen to be somebody like me and you're looking into a new car. You might have issues with like the brakes and whatnot, but to be honest, that is just how they are, and it's not a bad thing, right? So yeah, but anyways, I think that'll about wrap up this sort of review. It's, you know, it's not quite what I was hoping, but that's okay. You know what? It happens, and it's not a big deal. But anyways, hope you guys are staying safe during COVID-19. Good luck with what we're working on. And as well, if you want to contact me, you can at katarinas.garage on Instagram or Katarina's Garage on Facebook. And yeah, anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!